Danette.
Denise, Perry Hill Farms. We're so glad you're here today. We are doing something fun. We're in a new place today.
We are in Lauren's house. And I know we have previous videos of us renovating this home, and so maybe we can get some pictures to show you the updated version. Beautiful home, and she's allowed us to come in. Now, on all of our videos, we've always talked about teaching the next generation, and that's been our passion. And we were approached by sweet Lauren and our friend Presley here about teaching them how to make jellies and some canning instructions. And so today we're going to start off this series, we can call it a series if you want, of showing them how to make strawberry jam. Now, of course, y'all have witnessed our videos on strawberry jam making and stuff like that, but this is more about teaching the next generation. And y'all don't fret. We have baby Ford here.
He's got the hiccups in the background. You may hear him.
Yeah, I was about to say if the camera's moving a little bit, that would be why.
He's gonna take care of us.
Yeah. So we talk about teaching the next generation. So I wanted to ask Presley what prompted her wanting to learn how to make jams and jellies. And Presley, so tell us, what prompted you to want to do?
Well, I have 3 boys at home, and just like running to the grocery store is not always the most feasible option. And I just want to be a little more self-sufficient and just have stuff on hand, and we have some land, and so just like raising them to be able to make their own stuff, and me to make our own stuff just becomes a little more appealing.
Yeah, it's really fascinating that more and more people are prompted to want.
Oh, so sorry.
Sorry.
Briar loves the baby.
Briar loves the baby. It is fascinating that people are being prompted more to want to do more, be more self-sufficient. People are learning that they don't need to rely on so many different factors. They need to be more sufficient on their own, doing their own thing. And so it's really great that you're here, and we want to help in whatever way. We love sharing and we love teaching. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Okay.
With us on our jams and jellies, we just use I don't know if you've seen the Serto in the stores. They have the liquid pectin, and then they also have the powder pectin. We choose the Serto. It seems to do better.
It's liquid.
Yeah, it's much better. Now,
I'll tell you what that is if you don't know what that is. It is just a
citric
pectin. It's a citric acid that helps set the jelly, make the fruits into jelly.
Okay.
Now, you can make jams without pectin.
Right.
Strawberries are really, really good at making jelly without the pectin.
Right. Most fruits have natural pectin in them, but one thing that I know that my grandmother used a lot of in the past was lemon juice. Lemon juice is a natural pectin.
And there'll be some recipes that call for lemon juice in it.
Instead of?
No, for both.
Okay.
You do pectin.
Right.
And
But if there
lemon
ever
juice.
came a time where you couldn't get, a pectin somewhere, oh gosh, it's not, and ball.
Just keep it on hand.
You can't. We do, because it's part of our business. We keep it on hand at all times.
And we use it in everything.
And everything. So basically, for most of our recipes, there's a few recipes that we don't follow, but we just use the instructions on the cooked jam recipes.
Okay, show her the instruction thing, because that can be overwhelming when you pull that out of the box and start looking at it.
Right.
It can be kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, it came out of there.
So, because it gives you different recipes for jams and jellies, or
cooked jams, cooked jellies, and then you got quick freezer jams and quick freezer. I've never done these at all. You could, I've not. That's just not the way Granny's always done it. And so we've always used the cooked jelly recipes, and the only time, cooked jams. The only times that we
and
use,
jellies.
but the cooked jelly is like for blackberry.
Okay.
Because we juice our blackberries, and some people don't like the jam blackberry because it has seeds in it. And
Okay, so that would be the difference.
that would be the difference. This wouldn't have the fruit in it. It would just have the juice of the fruit. So you'll notice, most of the jelly recipes is apple, blackberry, raspberry, cherry. Currant is what is a currant?
Is it close to a fig or something?
Little berry. Yeah, a currant's like a.
Yeah, something like that. Never made them
$80.
current. You have grape. You know, most of these you see are juicy fruits. You know, and you can even do strawberry jelly without the seeds, but the seeds in here don't bother me. But I know that people that have diverticulitis
Can't handle seeds.
or dentures. This is stuff we've learned. Have problems with seeded jams, and so blackberry and strawberry would be a jelly for them.
Okay.
And it's just your preference, whatever you choose to do.
right.
So if you have the fruit in it, it tends to have more
There's
more
your
flavor.
currant. It's like a berry.
It's like
Yeah.
a little berry. Yeah.
I've never made currant. I've never used currants before.
Yeah. Are they wild? They must be wild. Are they wild? I don't know. We're gonna do research on currants because I'm interested in that. I bet you that makes
jelly.
Yeah.
Makes a great.
Shrub.
Okay.
So on most of your on your jams, you just basically follow the recipe here, and you'll memorize it in a heartbeat. But it breaks it down for the fruits of the amount, you know, how to prepare the fruit, the ingredients in that, and how much it makes for the cooked jams. But basically, what we're going to do first is we're going to prepare the strawberries.
Okay.
And so what I want to know is, okay, how many strawberries do we need for one recipe? And so we'll measure out, we'll mulch. Now, I know that in growing up with my grandmother, all her jams had large chunks of fruit in it. I'm not a fan of the big chunks, so I tend to mulch mine up in the blender.
Okay.
And
she would do it by like hand.
she would cut them up by hand, and like her figs would be those whole figs, and then a lot of syrup. So anyway, so all we need to do now is
Well, let's talk about what you're probably going to need first for when you do this. All of the supplies that you're going to need to get this going. First you're going to is of course the fruit. You're going to want sugar. You're going to have measuring cups for your sugar and for your fruit. A food processor that blends your fruit up for you. A big pot to cook it all in. And a big spoon to stir with. You're gonna need this little funnel thing here. Comes in a kit. It comes in a kit. It's so old. I'm surprised it still works. A little ladle, and this you'll use to help funnel your stuff, scoop your stuff out of the thing into the jars. So a ladle. And this, that Rural King has them.
Walmart, you can buy them in kits.
Has them, you buy the kits, but it comes
Amazon.
and then it has a little magnet stick that
It's
you
right
can
here.
pull. You got it? Oh,
Yeah.
it's right here. It got melted. Sorry, it touched.
Oh, that was just the design.
No, it got melted. So it's to get the lids out of the container now. Okay, and then of course you need jars with lids to go. And on the jars, save your jars because you can reuse them.
And you just buy more.
We save the rings if the ring doesn't have any rust in it
Or damage.
Used it or damage. You can reuse these
Okay.
because my grandmother wants everything sealed in her jars. She took these off and put them in a drawer.
Most canners do.
And
Because it's okay with that.
because
that lid.
this is sealed. Okay. So
And you
have
can pick it up from the seal and it won't pop off.
And on these little seals, they have a little button on them that's going to tell you when it seals. It's got a rubber seal in it. So first thing you have to do when you get jars, especially even out of the box, you want to examine, make sure the glass is not chipped on the jar. You want to make sure that the seals are good. There's no damage. And sometimes you'll get them and they'll have dings in them, and any type of ding.
Not gonna be
Probably won't seal. See, that lid is popped, so it's not coming off so that shows you. But you see the wear and tear on the lid there. Some of them, after they process, they do that. And there's nothing really wrong with that because everything inside the jar is sealed and good.
So you can still reuse that.
No, I would after I use those, I would probably throw those away.
No, not that, not the lid, not the ring.
The ring has rust in it.
The ring has rust in it, Danette, right?
It doesn't.
Does that happen just if you leave them on? Is that what
No, I mean
It
some can't. Some happen, some don't. You know, but you can. But like I said, I just always examine my rings before I use them on anything else. And if they're good to go, we reuse them. These where you never reuse, you throw them away.
Now, I've seen the reusable.
They're expensive, yes.
Okay.
I forget the name brand of them, but
I saw them. the other
also, now there are people out there, and there's some YouTubers we watch, that as long as when you take this off your jar, there's no damage, because it, to your seal, you can use them. I know our grandmother reused lids all the time.
day. Okay.
We don't for the purpose because we resell our products,
yeah.
so we automatically just use
If
them.
for some reason we
For
were canning for
ourselves,
ourselves and we
might.
needed some, and we didn't
We can
have new
reuse
ones,
them.
we would reuse them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the point is you wanna make sure that that seals.
Okay.
You know, and it seals on its own. There's a process, you know, you don't wanna go through and be checking them, cause if you touch it right after it comes out of the canner, it's gonna pop. And then you're really not certain if it's sealed or not. You don't know if that pressure inside that jar pulled that button down.
Okay.
And then you don't know for sure if it's sealed.
So anytime you, and then after you examine your jars and your lids, you wash everything and we sanitize it. And the way we do that, we wash our jars and then we put them in we turn our oven on warm, 170 is the degrees that all ovens set on. And then let me show you the picture here. Is we put our jars upside down in an oven, and at 170, they're extremely hot. And so that's gonna help be sterile. You can run them through your dishwasher on a sterile cycle.
Okay.
And leave them in there, because they'll still be hot. But if it's gonna be a while before you can and they don't come out hot, then I would probably stick them in the oven.
Okay.
Just for safety purposes, you know,
You could
now-
be like leaving this
Right.
food in for
Now, what we're gonna do, you may watch people that also put their jars in a pot of boiling water and leave it in the
Okay,
jar.
I've seen that.
You can do that too.
Okay, my dad's done that.
Yeah, you can put them all in a
Same
pot.
process, this is
Same
just dry
process.
heat.
This is
Okay.
dry heat instead of hot. Wet heat, yeah, wet heat. So that's it to get prepped. So we have our big pot over there.
Okay.
We have our processor here. We've already washed and cut up your strawberries.
Okay.
You know, whatever fruit you do, you have to make sure you wash it real good and get it clean.
So you just wash it in water, or you
Wash it in water, cut any bad spots off of it, whatever you need to do. And since we're processing it here, you don't have to cut them real small. It looks like Lauren cut them in half.
On the big ones, I told her she
Yeah.
cut them small.
So, but
process it.
we're gonna make strawberry jam today, and it's the easiest, one of the easiest ones to make.
Okay.
You
It's my
really,
favorite.
it's foolproof, pretty much. You can't go wrong. It always does well for the most part.
Okay, so so now that we got, the recipe itself, I gotta put my eyes on, calls for 8 cups of strawberries. And Lauren has them measured out already, and we're just gonna process them and see how much we get out of that. So we can dump that in there if y'all want. I'm just gonna tell you what to do.
Sure.
I'm not doing it. I want you to do
How
it.
many of them? All?
You could, well, let's do a little bit at a time.
Okay.
And because the processor, it doesn't have, the only thing I don't like about this one is it doesn't have a deep, when you take a deep ledge on the inside once you take this out.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I don't like about it. No.
Other way, yeah.
This way. And it won't turn on until you get it in the right spot.
Will it scare him?
He's used to
It's
it.
pretty.
And then
It's not very loud. I don't
You
think.
turn it on or you pulse it?
You can do either one.
Pulse it or whichever you prefer.
Okay, wait. Why is it not going on? Okay,
Something's not.
look right here. See.
Oh, I see, I see.
So take this off right here. Push that back off. Okay, now pull the handle till it locks. There you go. There you go. Voila.
And you can shop them as fine as you want, you know, because you're gonna cook them. You're gonna cook them. We usually want charge for them. I was gonna say, there's a single piece and there's a two pieces in there.
That's probably good right there. Yeah.
Um,
So we're gonna measure 4 cups. So go ahead
Right
and
there on the side, though, there's a couple pieces that didn't
Okay,
wash.
there's a spoon.
spatula.
Sorry, yeah.
Spatula. That'll work.
Sure. Where is it? Everything's right here. Okay,
just drop it. Yeah.
I'm gonna take this off.
Yeah. You just turn it this way. Yeah. And that one's a little finicky about pulling off. Sometimes you have to loosen this. Now go.
There we go.
Is he gonna go to sleep?
And then
Mine.
Okay, well, good.
where does it go?
Just pour, you want 4 cups of processed strawberries. So you're gonna.
Bump.
Isn't anything, really. Grandma's love.
Yeah, you'll have to get this down real quick. Yeah, there you go, and lock it, and then make sure that you've got that down. Good. There you go. Yeah. Actually. Yeah. Now, our previous, we had a Hamilton Beach and another KitchenAid. Their
Center
centerpiece
part was a little deeper.
A little deeper, so you could get a full. My
A
goodness.
full pot.
So good.
Yeah.
It does smell really good.
Mhm. And sometimes with certain fruits, pulsing works better. I know with my
Okay.
habanero peppers, when I do habanero pepper jelly, it works better at pulsing it because it keeps the pepper. It doesn't make sense really to me, but it does in a sense that it helps them mulch better instead of just turning it on, because then it'll throw it all to the side and you won't be able to. So Lauren, how many strawberries did you have in that? How many containers?
It was 3 containers. Mine is just a little bit.
So that was 3 containers of the,
They gave you
not
8
the
cups.
larger.
The 16 ounce.
Okay.
This is what it is.
Okay.
She had 8 cups of
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's probably going to give us about our 4 cups that we need. Yeah.
A secret though, if you're ever mulching up fruit and you're just shy of your fruit, you can add,
A half a cup of water.
maybe sometimes, I wouldn't go any more than a cup, but a half a cup of water to give you your full amount. You keep.
Yeah, just clean. Go ahead and clean your.
And if
your
you do have a little bit
So
more,
it's
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not exact.
It's not an exact.
Well, some fruits you will want to be careful to be exact because the natural pectin in the fruit can change that. So as close to it as you can, but you'll learn on some fruits you can go over a little bit. You know, strawberries are very forgiving. So
Okay, so I'll let you look at the,
It's a separate bowl.
and so then that's where you refer to the strawberry down there. It'll tell you the exact amounts of sugar you need.
7 cups of sugar. Okay.
Now, if you don't like, you can use cane sugar. There are some recipes out there that use honey. People that like are more natural.
Okay. So what would be like if I was using 7 cups of sugar? What would I do if I wanted to use honey? Is it even?
I've never done it with honey.
There is
so
a chart out there that you can
Okay, so
regulate.
just
We've
look it
never
up.
done it.
But
I've
you
never
could-
done it with honey, but the organic brown cane sugar you use would be the same measurement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you wanted to use that cane sugar, it would be the same,
Okay.
identical.
We've
If
never
you
done
don't
that
use the
before,
bleached
so that would
white
be-
or any kind of sugar, because that's bleached, I think.
Yeah.
And
So not good.
okay, it's not.
It makes
not
good
good.
jelly.
Sorry, you should have told
No,
me.
I would have got that too because this stuff's expensive.
It is
to use
expensive.
For like,
Okay,
You
when
see,
you're
how
making
much,
them.
you see how much sugar it costs for? 7
Yes.
cups.
so
Right.
I
That's
would
a
have
lot.
bought the same kind.
So I want to see your jelly or your sugar before I leave.
Okay, remind me and I'll show you. I guess I could get it.
So now that we've got this measured out,
Converted me.
we're going to measure out we're going to use that big measuring cup to measure out our sugar.
Okay.
So,
Or you can get it in measure, which is probably better.
Okay. You know,
Yeah, how it goes.
do the best you can.
Yeah.
so if you want to grab that big measuring cup
Okay.
right there, you can rinse all the strawberry out of it. This one right here.
Oh,
That's all right. That's the next one.
Yeah.
And then we'll add your sugar to that. Measure out your sugar in that big one.
so you want me to go ahead and pour the sugar in?
Just measure 7 cups of sugar. 'Cause we only have one recipe of strawberries. And man, the more you do it, you'll get used to how much a bag makes. Of course, we buy ours in bulk,
Okay.
like 25, 50 pound bags of sugar.
Because you'll do this so much.
Yeah,
Oh darn.
just a little bit.
That's okay.
Just like a cup. Do you have a
Yeah,
cup?
measuring cups,
Here,
Lauren.
right here.
So the bag is almost perfect.
It's not exact. If you're right, just a hair over, it's okay. It's not gonna
I don't want y'all to taste this and be like, oh, Presley, she messed up our jelly.
Nah.
No.
You should hang with us.
Look, the last thing that you'll ever do is mess up jelly by adding too much sugar. It'll just
Okay.
be sweet.
Now it may not set because it has more sugar
Yeah.
in it than the ratio. There is this is time tested and true that they've compared the amount of fruit to sugar to get that right ratio just so where it will set. So these charts are pretty good to follow.
Okay.
So so now that we got our mix to get processed and measured out, we want to put it in our pot and begin to
Cook it.
I'd
cook it down.
I'll be bringing water there.
You can. I'll move the sugar out of the way.
So,
Will he lay in
yeah,
on the side or kind of?
you can just lay on his back.
He'll stay asleep.
He should.
Gosh, this is so great, baby.
So do y'all add the half teaspoon of butter?
We we do use butter because strawberries, you see, they can tend to be foamy, and so I use butter in pretty much every jelly we do
Okay,
to
a
keep
little
the
bit for
keep the
foam.
foam
Okay.
down. Yes. So if you're doing one recipe, it's a pat, about what is it, a tablespoon? It
Half
costs
teaspoon.
Yeah.
half teaspoon. I just usually just do a pat, whatever it is.
Okay.
And throw it in there. So go ahead and put your sugar in there. This is tried and true pot that gets used 100 times.
I love this part.
Briar, don't you?
I tell you to invest in one. It's the best.
It's a Biltmore. Is it Biltmore? Is the name on the bottom of it? What's the name on the bottom of it?
I need new stuff when we move.
So sugar
Biltmore.
in, fruit in, pat of butter in.
Right. Go lay down.
You can use your blade, your spatula to stir with, boy.
Don't lay on a spanky. That baby's sleeping.
She messed with the dryer.
Now, okay, some people like to take their jar lids.
Throw the butter in.
Yes, you're good. And put them in on a pot on the stove in water and let them get warm. What I do, and people may disagree and that's fine, you just do it, we've never had any trouble with it, is I don't do that when I'm doing jellies or anything that has to be processed in a canner because that hot water is gonna sterilize and seal everything for me. But like for our salsa, we don't process it after we jar it up. So they get put in a hot bath to get a warm bath to get sterilized.
Okay.
But for this process, anything that I'm gonna put in that canner, I don't worry about doing that.
Now they're washed and cleaned, of course.
Yeah.
For the sterile part.
Yeah, so just stir it real good, make sure the sugar will start dissolving, and then just get it on the stove. And I would not do it at a complete high, because you don't want it to scorch. We do kind of a medium, between a medium and a high heat, and just get it going. If you have a longer spoon, you can use that so it doesn't fall down in there, you know, because I have had to
We have
fish out.
designated
I have had to fish out spoons in the bottom of the pot. So then you just get it going and bring it to a boil. That's what we're gonna do now.
Okay, so we're getting this hot and just stirring it and making sure the sugar don't stick on the bottom and let it. I would go up probably closer. Yeah, let's go closer to 8 and all. So
You're just gonna keep it close though.
yeah, you're gonna bring it to a hard, a rolling boil. That's what you're gonna. And what we mean by that is if you stir it, it's gonna keep bubbling.
Okay.
Is what you want to do. Okay, if it stops bubbling when you stir it, it's not quite hot enough.
back up a little bit.
But you want a rolling boil. Okay. Now I'll show you this while we're waiting. This is what's called a water bath canner, cold canner.
So there's pressure canner and then there's this kind of.
And I'm going to show you the pressure canner that you need to get if you ever start canning.
Mine's in that cabinet.
Okay. If you ever start canning, it's expensive, but it's worth the investment.
Okay.
Because it's a lifetime. You won't ever have to replace it. There are some things that require pressure canning. Vegetables require to be canned under like 10 pounds of pressure for 10 minutes or whatever. But it's low acidic foods need to be pressure canned.
Okay.
Because the acidity in the food will cut down on the bacteria. This is called an all-American canner. Now,
Okay.
you can get a Presto from Rural King or whatever.
Don't do it.
Oh, they're fine.
Oh.
They're fine. That's what we use for years.
For years.
But this one here, you never have to replace a seal in it.
You never have to, it lasts a lifetime.
So on your Presto or Hamilton Beach canners, there's a seal that runs along the edge, and over time it will dry rot. And we got ours from Porter's Hardware downtown. Y'all don't remember that? Do you remember Porter's Hardware?
They do.
It's downtown. They're trying to rebuild it back, I think. But once, a business closes, sometimes it's hard to find the exact seal to fit it. Now, you'll see seals for sale on the canning aisle at Rural King, but they might not be the same you need.
Okay.
So, after watching several YouTubers, Eric learned about this canner. And I'm telling you, it's pricey.
Like how pricey?
$300.
Okay.
But
I'll have to make some good canned vegetables for my husband.
it's the best. If you're gonna pressure can stuff, invest in it.
Okay.
You'll save money in the long run. It's
Because it's a lifetime thing. Like
it's a lifetime warranty.
Like you won't ever have to buy another.
You won't ever have to buy another canner. And with it, you just line it up, it locks, you screw this, and people respect it, but don't be terrified of it. It's not gonna explode.
I feel like, that's what I was about to ask. I feel like I've heard
You're not lined
horror
up.
stories
You're
like
off.
the cats.
Right. I haven't gotten completely comfortable.
And so, then you just pick these up and you
So
seal
you
it.
use this in the house. You
Yeah,
don't
it's in
like take it out in the yard.
No, I use it in
You
the
just
house.
do it on the stove, right?
And now you'll see some
Okay.
people say don't use it on a glass top. I use mine on a glass top. I've never had a problem with it. But they recommend, they say it could crack her, but I'm just careful.
We haven't had any issues.
The key to this one, Erica, let me show you, is you tighten opposite sides.
Yeah.
You
At
tighten
the same time.
at the same time.
Okay.
So you just go around and you tighten, and it has a little platform. Never sit your jars on the direct bottom. They'll bust. The heat will
Okay.
cause them.
They
So
come to
most
a little-
canners have the little platform that sits on the bottom that gets them up off the bottom. Always use that.
Rack is what it
If you
is.
don't have the rack, I've laid a ton of these down.
Okay.
Feel the bottom.
Yeah, just so it's
Sit
not
jar-
directly on.
Right.
Okay.
Sit jars on it. Excuse me.
So this heats up.
So you have your water in it. The thing with the pressure canner, on a cold canner, what you'll notice is we'll fill it and cover the lids.
Mhm.
On a pressure canner, you don't have to cover the lids because the steam is what sterilizes
Okay.
the food in it. So for this pressure canner, we have our jars in here. We filled them we'll fill it up half full to the jars. This is not on. This, if you'll notice, I don't have my glasses on. It has, each hole is for different pounds of pressure. And wherever you live in the world, you're at a different altitude or sea level. So you'll see 5, 10, 15.
Okay.
And so the recipe, is that strawberry or is that's strawberry? Okay. So the recipe set will say for if you're having a pressure can something,
10 pounds of pressure.
10 pounds of pressure for 12 minutes or 10 minutes.
Okay.
So this would be what you would put it on. So what Stumpy does, and Stumpy is the pressure canner king.
He is.
He really is. He does most of our canning. So he'll bring the water to a boil, and you'll see a steady steam come out here. It'll almost whistle coming out of it. That has to be steady for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then however many pounds of pressure that it said, you're going to put that. If it said 10 pounds, you're going to put it on the 10 pounds.
That's when you put that on there.
And then when you put that on there, you're going to see this go up. And you're going to stop it at whatever pounds of pressure it said. Just say 10. Okay? So you're going to watch your needle, and it's going to be boiling. This is going to be kind of rattling like this. But when it gets to 10 pounds, you want to adjust your heat to stay at 10. And then you'll leave it at 10 for however long their instructions say.
Okay.
Now, when it's done, turn it off. Let it sit.
So this heats up because you sit it on the oven?
Yeah.
Right, it's got water in
Okay,
it.
okay.
Water's in it, and your canned
You're
potatoes.
basically boiling water.
Your canned potatoes are in there, but with this, the steam is what sterilizes.
Okay.
Not the water produces the steam.
Yes.
With a cold canner, the water is what heats it up
Okay.
and
Yeah.
do the
So,
sterilizing.
but for jams and jellies, this is what you're gonna use.
Right here. And this is, you can get this Walmart anywhere.
Okay.
And all it is, and this has been used a million times, so.
Is that the kind of wrap that you can put in there? Okay.
Now they make the little rubber things that looks like stars you can stretch out and lay in there. They don't even work good. So if you ever have, they come like this, or they'll come with a wire basket with handles that slides down in there that fits.
Okay, I've seen
And then you could do that, but
Y'all like that better?
Yeah, either one. Well, for this, if we wanted to double a layer.
Jelly jars.
Jelly jars, you can do
Double
that.
jelly jars.
You can do that and
And you
fill
would
that
use it, you wouldn't stack them, you would put them on a,
in between,
You'd
a
put-
rack in between each.
You would
each
put one of these in between it.
okay.
We don't normally stack them because it gets really full. So I'm gonna go ahead while we're waiting and get water in here and start getting it warm on the
Okay.
stove while we wait. So that way we'll be
How do
ready.
you feel that?
I usually only go about a quarter of the way because when you start putting your jars in there, the water's gonna rise. So I usually go about a quarter of the way and then add more water if I need to. But I've kind of got it figured out that a quarter of the way is enough to get all my jelly jars. My 9 jars that I put in here, 13, how many goes? 9?
13 usually fills it up. 14, you probably stretch it to 14. And the key to the cold canner is you've got to get an inch of water above the lid when you fill it. So, we'll get you stirring. So,
It's starting to boil.
Yeah. Does
So
it
when you
stop? Does it stop bubbling?
yes.
Yeah, you have to be real careful. When it gets to a rolling boil, it'll start popping. And it can burn you.
And that's when you need to
That's why a long
turn it
spoon is
off,
like-
right?
That's when you need, no, just get a long, make sure you have a long spoon and
Okay.
it's not gonna burn your knuckles.
So how long does it need to boil?
Well, right now, we're gonna let it come up to a boil, and the instructions say there, 1 minute. You let it-
Okay.
You let it do a boil for, you add your sugar, and you, where's it at?
Right here.
Is it
Uh-huh, and you
stoppable?
boil it for
Stir it.
exactly 1 minute, stirring, this is where you're gonna stir it constantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
After
Cut the
you,
heat just a tinge up.
When it comes to boil, and
And we
then
add in
let's
this.
one package of pectin.
Okay.
Mhm.
And this for all of that.
That's one recipe. That was one recipe.
Okay.
Now you can double recipes in that pot. We've doubled before, and
Okay.
you're just gonna double all your ingredients.
Okay.
Nothing. The directions don't change. It's just
Okay.
it's just double the stuff you put in it. She stirs it.
Okay.
It's still boiling. Okay. So you're going to got your pectin scissors.
Now, doesn't it boil for a minute?
Yes.
Before we add it? So we set a timer for 1 minute. Hard boil for 1 minute. And once that's done, we're gonna add the pectin to it.
You
There's
got
scissors
scissors?
right there. And just cut that top off right here.
And it's one.
Now there's juice in there, so yeah, there you go. And then once that timer goes off, it's 1 Certo to 1 recipe of strawberries.
Mhm.
And you'll see it'll change the color of it. You're still gonna have foam with strawberries, and we'll get that off
Even
before.
with the butter.
Even with it, but not as much.
Okay.
It's supposed to help, so.
And you get rid of all that, like you.
Yeah, I'll usually take a spoon. Now you can take it off before you jar it, or you can jar it and I use a spoon and just go
We
around
found
the
it
top
easier
of
to do it when you get it in the jar.
because it starts setting in the jar and it's a
Yeah.
little easier to scrape it off the top than trying to get it from boiling hot. That's hot, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So once that timer goes off, we're just gonna pour all that pectin in there into that container and stir it, and we're gonna stir the pot
Give it back up to a boil for 1 minute.
for 1 minute. It won't take it long. So yeah.
Make sure you didn't cancel your heat too.
Yeah, it's still on
Okay.
there.
Your stove is just like mine.
Yeah. So just stir it in.
Yeah,
So you get darker. Yeah.
Yeah,
isn't that
I was gonna tell you,
crazy?
it changes the color, gives it that rich color. Yeah, there you go. And so just gonna stir it and get it back to a good rolling boil. It won't take long, I'll tell you that for a minute.
Okay.
It won't take long. And once it's there, set your timer and do 1 more minute.
It's pretty good, yeah. And then press the little play button.
Oh.
Sorry, it's confusing. There we go.
And then we usually stir, I usually keep stirring it while it's.
Yes, once the Certo goes in, you have to keep it at a constant stir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, some people use a wet paper towel to clean the rims of your jars. Some people use vinegar. Vinegar dries faster.
After you've already cleaned them.
No. You're jumping ahead of the game. I am. You're jumping ahead of the game. We're gonna fill the jars up now.
Oh, and then
Right.
you
have to
do the
clean off.
extra.
If you get
jelly off, if there's
Okay, that
jelly.
makes
Yeah.
right.
Because that'll affect
You
the
have to have a
food.
clean surface on the rim for it to seal good. And so once you dump your jelly and your juices in the jar, it'll get messy. So you just take the wet paper towel or the vinegar, you wipe the edge of the thing, then you put your lid on top
Okay.
and then seal it down.
That makes sense. I thought
So-
we were like double cleaning.
No.
Jars down there, Lauren, and just pull several out. Now this recipe makes about 13 jars. So
Can I help you?
It doesn't matter.
I don't want to burn me.
I don't pull out, but maybe 4 at a time because I want them to stay hot.
Yeah.
Okay,
they
that's
stay
what I was
hot.
gonna ask.
I pull out 5 or 6 at a time.
I usually pull out my whole rest.
This makes me nervous. I want you to like collapse in your arms.
Okay, here, you'll need this, because
Okay.
this is gonna help keep the product in. I'm letting you get right there.
Oh, that is so warm.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is, let's slide this, and the best thing to do, let me pull this out of the way.
Show me my fill line before I
Okay,
start.
I will.
Right here. It's gonna be about
Let's pull
about
this
to
off.
that to that second line.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Maybe not, because she's got to, fill it. So just pull your jar close.
Okay.
We normally pull it off the eye, but since we're working from this direction, we're not. It's gonna,
Okay.
it'll be fine.
Swap if we need to. It'll be easier.
It'll be fine. We'll just jar it up. So just take it, and you're gonna, it'll drip. So, and just pour. Okay.
What line does she go to?
Okay. And I usually go see how your red thing is sitting in there.
Mhm.
I usually take it to the very tip of that. Is what I normally do, and that's usually my fill. So just fill to the bottom of that where you see the red.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then it has a little, you caught the little hook on there. So just slide that one out of the way, and then grab you another one and just start filling it up. Okay. I'm trying to show them, not be in the way too. Lauren, you see? See, and normally what happens is Lauren, you could actually probably come behind her and wipe the lids from this direction. She can just slide them this way if you want. I'm sorry. This is good like.
Yeah, you won't have any fingerprints by the time it's all done, I promise.
I need to. So what I like to do is just take my spoon sideways and lay it sideways like this, and just kind of go around, take it around, and get the fall. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you. Let me show you the first. Yeah, and just drop it in there. Okay. This is what I normally
Jello
do.
is a messy business.
It is. It's okay. So like this, and I just normally just go around like this and try to get all of it. You might not get all of it off, but you'll get.
Alright, I'm gonna grab you some more Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just don't let me burn anybody.
You see, Presley, how I'm getting the foam out of here? Just running the spoon along and just picking up and dumping it over there. You may not get all of it out, but you get most of it. The foam's not gonna hurt you. You can eat it.
Come over here and
But if
if
you-
you want some.
It's just not presentable. It's not presentable if you want it to be more.
I got you. I was just about to ask what the problem with foam is.
Yes, nothing. It's
So
just.
if I was
it's not
making
very-
it at my house,
You don't
He
have
nodded
to,
at
but
you,
I
but
do.
just- He nodded at
So, and then you can wipe the lids afterwards. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm in front of that camera. Okay, I'm gonna.
we can have some strawberry jelly for our biscuits.
So I usually get all the foam off and then come back with my paper towel and wipe all the lids. Is what I normally do.
How many pigs do you have?
Doesn't it smell delicious?
Are you watching?
It does.
It does
Four,
smell
doesn't
so
it
good.
smell good?
I mean, I'm just like dreaming about the biscuits I'm gonna make in the morning, and
The jelly that's going on top of it.
yes.
Yes.
No offense, Walmart, but this is.
I'm telling you.
I do not buy store-bought jelly anymore. Like my children do not eat store-bought jelly.
I'm
So
not
this
either
doesn't have
after.
It doesn't have any of your preservatives in it.
Yeah.
Everything in it, you have your bleached white sugar, which is not the best thing for you, but it doesn't have preservatives
Yeah.
like your store-bought stuff does.
Well, now I know about the sugar, and I'm gonna do better.
So Presley, there's a couple different things too to teach you as well that come with your jelly. If you wanna make sure it's gonna set well, there's 2 different methods that you can do. So as you can see here, if you pick it up and you drop it, like you can see how it's thickening up.
It
and how-
sheets.
It's called sheeting.
Okay.
So you can do that. Or if you
Hold
have,
on.
See how it stops?
you see how it's slowing down?
Yeah.
That's called sheeting. That's what you want to happen.
That's how you can test if it's
Okay.
gonna
if it's gonna set.
Okay.
The other way to do it is you can take a small saucer plate like what we were eating off of, and you can stick it in the freezer, let it get nice and cold, and then you take a little bit of your liquid jelly and you take the plate out, you lay it down, and you drop it on the plate.
Okay.
Let it sit for a minute, and then you can take your finger and press. If it wrinkles, it'll set. If it
Okay.
doesn't,
2 testing.
Two different testing
So
ways.
we didn't test beforehand.
No, 'cause I knew it was gonna
We knew
set.
it was gonna set. We've tested
Okay.
this recipe enough to know
Okay.
it's gonna set.
Okay, so you still have some in the
Yeah, I was
bottom.
about to ask what do
So
I
I
do?
normally, let's see.
Just top off from
You
other
see there's some,
leftovers?
yeah, you see there's some that might need a little bit more. I usually just scrape the bottom
I want another you.
and I just kind of divide it in between
Okay.
there. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, Lauren, you might have to wipe these lids a little bit. Okay, next one. And, oh, big old pop, that's good. Okay,
I had to do extra fruit for the day.
yeah. So just clean those lids now. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Just sit right here, sister.
Look how big of a sink. It's perfect for this. I think that that's the sink that we picked out like a big.
So delicious.
You'll like that.
Okay.
So,
Now, Lauren, I see some on that edge there. Yeah, it might cause. There you go. So I usually go around the blah, blah, screw edge side, yeah, just like that, and then on the top. That's how I make sure. So once the lids are on, that way you know you don't have any sugar left out there that can spoil and cause. Look at that.
Sample.
Look at his lips.
What do you think, Lauren?
Here you go, there's your jelly.
That's good. So good.
Oh, that one could have used a little more too, but that's okay. It'll be okay. You may come out where there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 jars. There's only 8 jars.
Yeah, I don't know where you got 13 from.
our jelly recipes only make 7 to 8 jars a piece.
Because I've always doubled. Doubled.
That's why. That's right.
Did you like that strawberry?
It was yummy, wasn't it?
So, sorry.
So when you double it, do you feel like you have like jelly everywhere? Like, is it a lot to?
we make, we,
No,
we
it's
do have
outside,
jelly.
we make
Is it a lot to like contain that? Like, no.
No, that pot
Okay.
holds it really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it holds it really good.
We like those pots out.
I need to get me one.
You watching? Yummy, yummy.
So now that you've got your lids clean, your jars clean, you're gonna lay the lid on it, and then you can grab the rings right there, and
And it's needs to be 9.
8.
We got it.
And the thing to remember too is not to touch the rim again, not to touch the inside of the clean lids. You know, just try to keep them as clean.
okay.
And just finger tight, so you
Oh.
don't have to like screw it really hard. Just like just tighten this one.
Yeah,
Yes, finger tight.
Just let me see how tight they are on there.
Oof, that's really hard.
I've burned myself so many times.
Yeah, usually
Try not to be jumpy, but man.
I keep a towel on my shoulder because I constantly am grabbing, you know, like this, and just finger tight like that,
Oh, your finger tightened mine.
like that.
Now I know what finger tight means.
Yeah.
I was thinking like you could just like.
Just till you feel tightness on it, where it stops. Yeah, just like that.
Because if it's too tight, it'll bust the jar.
Yeah.
Or buckle the
Yeah.
flap. Buckle the flap if you get too tight.
Yeah. That's why. See, here we go, right there.
I'm trying to be brave.
Yeah. You don't have to be with this because you want to keep your fingers. Okay. And that, like I said, that's why I keep this like this and that way. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our canner over there with water and set it on the stove. That start turning that on and just start setting your jars down in there.
Okay.
Okay. The water. And once you get them in there, I mean, you can go all the way around the edge and the center, however you want to set them.
Okay.
If they're not covered with water, then just get you a measuring cup and.
And they don't touch, right?
If you fill it full, they will touch,
And that's okay.
and that's fine.
But you want them snug
You
in
want
there.
it snug as you can get them.
Well,
But
I
They
show
won't
them the
bounce around.
trick to this. We do if it doesn't feel. To keep them from falling sideways. Well, are they in there enough where they're not gonna fall sideways, Denise? When it starts to roll?
yeah, they're not gonna fall sideways.
Say a few jars to can, you're at the end of your processing and you have 3 or 4 jars that you need to can. You can either put them in the refrigerator and not worry about canning them and eat them, quickly, or when you put them in there, just add empty jars in there with it, fill the insides with water, and they'll keep them from falling over.
Okay.
But with this recipe of 8 in there, they're not gonna fall over.
Okay.
But we do have to make sure that they're covered with water. So you want to
The
get
lid, the whole
the whole lid.
lid.
So you're gonna want about an inch of water over the top of the lids. So whatever you want to use to put water in.
I see what you're talking about there. It doesn't
Yeah.
cover the
Yeah,
ones
just a
on
good
that side
cover.
of
That's
it.
good.
Okay.
See, and it'll be different because the pan's kind of.
Okay.
We can put that on high.
So is there a limit? Like if I were to just like fill that up again and like went like a whole inch over? Like,
It wouldn't hurt it.
okay. Okay.
So put that. Make sure that's on high. We're gonna put the lid on it, and once this starts boiling, we're gonna give it 10 minutes for the half pints.
Okay.
If your jars are larger, like pint size, then you're gonna go 20 minutes.
Okay.
And you can see it'll tell you in the recipe.
Okay.
So
When y'all like make jelly for your house, what do y'all like normally? You just do the
jelly jars.
Okay, jelly jars. Okay.
if we don't have them, we'll put them in here. So it looks like it is starting to boil. Usually at that rate, I'll usually go ahead and start my timer. So put your timer on 10 minutes, which we've done. Put the lid on to keep it hot. Let it boil for 10 minutes. Got y'all on camera. Let it boil for 10 minutes and then pull it out, and you're gonna set it on a towel, and you're not gonna let them touch.
Okay.
Okay? Don't let them clang or touch, because that heat, they could.
Okay.
Yes, I've done that with salsa before.
Okay.
That's not fun.
That's scary.
It's scary. So just when you set them out, just make sure they're spaced apart and leave them, let them cool completely.
Okay.
You'll start hearing the pop, 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 pop.
Okay. And that
When-
means they're sealed.
That means they're sealing. Don't press on them.
Okay.
Don't touch them. One thing I didn't tell you that we normally do when we're canning is in this thing, I put a dash of white vinegar. That helps, because these pots sometimes have residue in them from using them all over, or well water, and they'll get like a white film on the jars, and it makes them look gross. So a little tap of white vinegar in there, a splash, will keep that crystal clear and keep them clean. So then you're gonna pull them out and set them on the counter, and just let them cool completely, and then they're done to be on the shelf for however long it takes you to eat them.
And then if you open it, just put it in the fridge.
Okay.
And once you open them, put them in the fridge.
And then
If you have one that does not seal for whatever reason, just go ahead and stick it in the refrigerator.
Okay, you can still use it.
Mhm. Now, sometimes with that jelly, if you don't eat it quick enough, it can crystallize on the top. That's nothing. That's not bad. You know, honey will do that.
Yeah.
And you can stick it in warm water, and the crystals will dissolve. You can scrape it off with a spoon if you want to, just as long as it's not mold. But I mean, sometimes jellies, if they sit long enough, they'll crystallize on the top. It won't hurt you. Just take it off and
Use it.
eat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, we are done for the day. It took longer than it would normally take
You socialized too.
because we socialized and visited and loved on the baby.
Yeah.
And all, but we have our end product. We have 8 jars that we made out of one recipe. That I'm sure the girls are going to enjoy. Taking that home and then of course the knowledge, right? Yeah. So Presley, you feel like you can do it?
Yeah, I think so. I might have to send y'all a text, but I'm definitely gonna try it too.
Our phones are open
Okay.
always, always. But we thank
Some boys,
you.
it'll be exciting.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
All
It's fun to get the boys involved when you do this too, because
Yeah.
they learn. Beckett wants to help every time too, doesn't he? Every time.
Jack's
So,
my little cook.
yeah, that's so sweet. So we thank you so much for following us on this episode of just teaching the next generation.
Right.
We're grateful to do that and share that information with us. As Stumpy always says, a simple life is a much more enjoyable life. And that's what we're all leaning to, right, girls?
That's right.
Right. Follow us on our next video. Thank you for watching. God bless you and have a wonderful day. See ya. Peace out.
You want a brother?
Look at her cup.
You want a brother?
Watch him jump.
convincing Daddy of that.
Yeah.
Daddy might be a little hard.
Look at him. He's begging Mama. Look.
Hey.
I want to catch him jumping. He was jumping up after that baby.
So perfect. Tell her.
Now that is adorable. He is
totally.
Look at him. He said, Daddy, we need a baby.
We did a baby.
Oh my gosh.
Or he's just so jealous.
We did a baby.
Either one.
Hey, Briar.